So, basically, I'm just gonna go into this without notes, because I want to just speak my mind. I want to just speak my thoughts on the matters. But, basically, let me get vulnerable for a second here, because not a lot of people are willing to do that on YouTube anymore, and I feel like it's really reshaped the landscape. But regardless of all that, I want to talk about my personal desires to do YouTube. Because personally, I have wanted to do YouTube for absolutely years at this point in time. I've wanted to do YouTube since I was probably about 12, 13 years old, something like that. I'm now 22, so well over a decade, or at least well within a decade. And it was a dream of mine for a long time, many, many years. Unfortunately, that dream had since been crushed by those in my life that were supposed to support me. I'm looking at you, Dad. And unfortunately, because of that, it was made out to be this really rare, once in a lifetime lottery ticket luck possibility, I suppose. And that was challenging because, I mean, I knew how rare it was to win the lottery, and that's what it was being compared to. Becoming a famous YouTuber. And frankly, I understand that it's a low chance, but I also had no idea how much the YouTube landscape would blow up in the last few years. I don't think anybody has. Anybody really could have predicted that. But I was just inspired by those in my life at the time that brought me joy, and that brought me a sense of balance in my extremely imbalanced childhood. People like Dan TDM, Captain Sparkles, who else? Frickin' Popular MMOs, Stampy. You know, I watched a lot of Minecraft YouTubers back when I was younger, because I always saw Minecraft as a source of freedom. That has since faded in recent day, but my desire to do YouTube content has not. I would love to do YouTube content of some caliber on this platform. I just don't seem to have the self-esteem to do it, and that is my biggest underlying problem. I think anybody that's bullied from a young age experiences some level of self-esteem issues, and especially those that are bullied by the people that raised them, by the people that were supposed to raise them. I think that has been one of my biggest challenges, is just having it be framed as such a negative thing for so many years that ultimately it became like not just this impossible goal, but like this unwarranted goal, like a goal that I shouldn't even strive for because it was so futile. It just seemed so futile. Playing video games for a living? Are you kidding me? That's funny. Like, that's not something that just happens. Except nowadays it is. And that's my biggest challenge, is how do I run with that nowadays when my self-esteem has already been shot to shit, and I know now more than ever that I'm far more capable of doing YouTube videos than I ever have been before. I've got plenty of talents to share. I can sing, I can play musical instruments, I can do art, I know how to animate a little bit. You know, just basic things like that, and not to mention all the skill that I have in video games, all the different knowledge that I have over different video games that I could share with the world, that I would love to share with the world. I just have this problem in my mind that states that the world doesn't want to see what I have to share. And that's a challenge. I feel like a lot of people probably experience this issue of wanting to make content, but feeling like nobody would care if they did. And that's kind of my big challenge, because I'm not necessarily here to get a big following. I'm not necessarily here to even make money off my content necessarily. Not anymore, not like I used to be. Otherwise I would be Mr. Beast maxing and just grinding the algorithm to high hell and back. But that's not what I'm about. I want to make genuine content as much as I want to make a living off of YouTube, if not more. Because genuine content to me really speaks to the core of the platform. It really speaks to the origins of YouTube. Because YouTube itself used to be a platform for people to just upload whatever they wanted, and for people to just enjoy what they made and have fun making it, without really any desire for anything more than that. And nowadays, YouTube has become a business platform, and it's challenging to see because so many people are business maxing the platform nowadays, when in actuality it's almost like the core of what made YouTube has since been lost to time. And I would like to do my part in bringing that back. But that's challenging for me, because I don't know how to do that in a way that allows my self-esteem to not fester from within. In a way that tells me genuinely that people want to see what I have to provide. Because I don't see that personally, and I don't feel that, and nobody in my life has ever made me feel that way before. That people genuinely want to see what I have to produce. Until recently. And that's a big part of why I've gotten this spark recently. Because I have since rejected a lot of negative people from my life and invited a lot of positive people into my life. And it has made a world of difference. And if there's anything I want you to take away from this video as the viewer, it's that. It's that you can't let the negative people that make you feel like you're less than what you are weigh you down in life. When in actuality, you gotta just go out there, get those toxic relationships out of your life, and consent to the more positive ones. You know, allow more genuine relationships into your life. Allow the people that understand you to understand you, and don't necessarily just cut off the people that don't, but let them be, you know, let them vibe on their own frequency. You don't have to get pulled down to their level to have a good time in your own right. That's something I've kind of come to learn recently, from just life in general. But I would say overall, I think the number one thing that has been stopping me from doing my YouTube content, like I've wanted to for so many years, and I want you to listen closely because I think a lot of people have the same problem here. But the one thing that has stopped me for so many years from producing my YouTube content is me. Myself. I'm the one that's not sitting down at my computer hitting the record button. I'm the one that's not popping open a game and recording footage of it. I'm the one that's not sitting down and recording my own voice to make a point to the world that I would like to make through the form of an auditory video presentation. Except I am. Right now. That's literally what I'm doing this exact second. And you can too. If you're struggling with your self-esteem like I am, it sounds like the simplest solution ever. And it may or may not work for everyone. In fact, I've found it to be lackluster for myself, but it's still a strategy nonetheless, and that is to just hit record. Just hit record, make something, and fix it in post. Just fix it in post. Frankly, you can just fix it in post. Like, if you do something goofy in your recording, or you have an embarrassing moment, or there's a problem that you see in your recording, maybe you say something that you don't want to say, or you find that there's a certain bit of silence that you don't want to include, or whatever it might be, just fix it in post. That's what YouTube is for. YouTube is a video platform. It is for creating videos. So make your videos how you want to make them. Just do it. There's not much more to it than that. Just do it. And it sounds way too simple. And frankly, that solution is way too simple in a lot of ways. Because there's still a lot of nuance to how to do it. But if you can just take that first step of sitting down, hitting record, and making something, just something, anything at all, then you can change the world with nothing more than who you are as a person. And that's powerful.